Hey, welcome back to another whiteboard session at KCI. Recently been talking about motivation and momentum and how to gain those feelings of motivation and really how to establish what's the driving behavior behind goal setting and motivation and that sort of thing. The most recent whiteboard session, I talked about who you are and why that's important to you. I think that's really critical to moving yourself into the tactical and the practical aspects of what do you do to accomplish your goals? What are the actions that you need to do to accomplish those goals? So if you haven't watched that one, go back and watch that one before this one. But if you've watched that one, we talked about who you are. And I'm going to use that same example that I want to be a healthy and fit person. Okay, So who I am or who I want to be is a healthy and fit person, okay? And again, in last session, I talked about this too, but it doesn't matter if you currently believe this about yourself or you currently are healthy and fit, or if that's just something you're striving for, okay? Because if you are currently healthy and fit, you're striving to be healthy and fit tomorrow and the next day and in 5 years and 10 years from now. And if you're not currently healthy and fit and that's who you want to be, you're striving to do that tomorrow and next week and next year and in the next 5 years. Okay, so it doesn't matter where you're at on this spectrum. Let's just say this is who you are and who you want to be. Okay, specifically who you want to be. So this brings it into goal setting and what are the things that you need to do to be or to become healthy and fit by your own standards. Okay, and I'm going to go through a couple examples here for myself, and these might be some that you can use too. But when we talk about goal setting, the goal isn't to be healthy and fit, even though it is, right? And that'll make sense here in a little bit. But this is an overarching principle or who you believe yourself to be. It's not what you need to be focusing on day in and day out to achieve this. Okay? You can wake up every morning and say, I want to be healthy and fit, and then go to the couch and eat a whole box of cereal and watch Netflix for 10 hours. But you told yourself that you want to be healthy and fit, but your actions right after that didn't fall in line. Okay? So what we're talking about today is what are the things that you need to do to be who you want to be, to become who you want to be. Okay? Here's how to do it. You need to understand what does a healthy and fit person do? Okay, again, by your own definition, a healthy and fit person will do what? Okay, well, look at the fittest people that you know. What do they do? I'm sure they plan at least one meal a day, right? I'm pretty sure the healthiest and most fit people that you know or that you can think of plan the majority of their meals. I would dare say 99% of their meals are planned out, okay? A healthy and fit person will meal plan. Awesome. This is something that you can do, okay? A healthy and fit person, what? A healthy and fit person will exercise regularly, okay? Whatever regularly is. Let's just say 5 times a week. I think 3 would be a bare minimum. If you're in school, a bare minimum would be passing. That's like a D or a C. I don't know. So let's just say 5 times a week. Okay? A healthy and fit person will meal plan. They'll exercise. What else could we think of? A healthy and fit person, I don't know, sleeps well. Okay? There are recovery mechanisms that happen when you sleep, and to be healthy and fit, you need to be fully recovered. Therefore, you need to sleep well. Your recovery happens a lot when you sleep. Okay, so taking these three things, let's just stick with three tactile things, and we say, okay, well, a healthy and fit person will meal plan. I don't know, what did I say? 99%? Let's just say you're going to go for 90%. Okay, 90%, and we already have, and this is a week. Okay, exercise 5 times a week. Sleep well. We need to define what sleeping well means. Let's just say 7 or more hours a night. Okay? So now that we have things, now we can start attacking them, and these now become our goals. Well, I'm going to work towards meal planning 90% of my week. Now we can start talking about what's it going to take for you or me to get to 90%. Okay? We need to be realistic with these goals and all sorts of time. We need to put some time domains, and this is where your SMART goals, if you've ever heard of that, that's where this will come in to some extent. But let's just kind of take it at a basic framework so we can understand how do we get to this so that we can define ourselves and identify ourselves as being healthy and fit. Okay? So easy math or simple math, let's just say there are 21 meals in a week. Okay? That's 7 days a week. Whoop. 3 meals a day. Okay? Easy math, right? Let's not make it complicated. This is just basic 101 of goal setting. Okay? So, if we plan 7 meals in 1 week, we're at 33%. If we plan 14 meals in a week, we're at 66. 21 meals, we're at like 99.9, right? Okay, so easy math. 7 meals in a week, you're at 33% of your goal. 14 meals a week planned and executed, you're at 66%. And then obviously if we're in the 19 to 21 meals planned per week, then we're achieving our goal. Okay, well, where are you at right now? Obviously you need a starting point. Where is starting point? Okay, are you at 1? Are you at 5? 1 to 5? Okay, well, that's fair, that's fine. How are you going to get to 7? Well, maybe your starting point, this is just one example, one way to do it. Maybe your starting point is you're going to plan breakfast 7 days a week and execute on that, and it's going to be a healthy breakfast. It obviously can't be donuts 7 days a week. You need to plan a healthy breakfast, okay? And that's going to mean something different for everyone, but there's going to be maybe some carbs and some fat and some protein, and all that discussion can happen, right? Can you plan and execute breakfast 7 days a week? Can you do this for a month? What if I asked you to do it for 90 days? Could you do it just breakfast? You want to be healthy and fit. I understand where the goal is. Let's start. If you're down here at 1 to 5 times a week and you're not planning hardly any meals, I might ask you for 90 days, plan and execute breakfast 7 days a week. Okay? And you're not going to be perfect. Nobody's going to be perfect for 90 days, but maybe you're going to be 90%, 80%, hopefully. You're going to get a B, you're going to get an A on that report card. Well, if you can do this for 90 days, I think you're really on a great track. Okay? Let's say you can do this for 90 days. Guess what? Actually, lunch is always the hardest one. Let's do this. Dinner. Some of you may call it supper. Can you plan dinner 7 days a week? That will equal 14 meals. You'll be at 66% meal planning if you can do this plus this for 90 days. Plan your breakfast, plan your dinner for 90 days, for another 90 days, so obviously now we're at 180 days. That's 6 months. Okay, 6 months from today, maybe you're planning 66% of your meals. That's fantastic. 6 months ago, today, if you're doing this in 6 months, you were planning 1 to 5, and now you're going 14. That's a massive jump, guys. That's a huge win. You are, by definition now, this is who you are. You are a healthy and fit person. Last thing to add in there is lunch. And guess what? Actually, this will be easier now because dinner, as long as there's some leftovers, can a lot of times become lunch. So you've got the momentum going. You're moving in that direction. And maybe this doesn't take you 90 days now. Maybe this just takes you 30 more days. So in 7 months, in this example, you went from planning out 1 to 5 meals, 1 day a week. You're able to eat healthy, plan healthy meals, 1 day a week. In 7 months, you went from planning 1 day a week to almost achieving 90%. Okay? 7 months. That's not a lot of time, guys. That's not a lot of time to be maybe where you're at today, to be where you want to be, defining yourself in that regard. Okay? I'm not saying it's easy to do, but it can be straightforward. The process can be simple to understand and to grasp, and doesn't take long. We've been only talking about this 10 minutes or less, right? Now, we could erase this and do the same thing with exercise, okay? And I think you could maybe overlap that and say, hey, 90 days, my first 90 days, here's my end goal, 5 days a week. What am I going to do for the first 90 days? Okay? What am I going to do for the second 90 days? And then where do I want to be 7 months from now? You don't have to work out 5 times a week. If you're working out 0, don't start at 5. It's not going to happen. You've got to build the momentum to get there, right? You could do the same thing for sleep. Tackle that. Well, there are certain things that you need to be doing to improve your sleep to get 7 hours of sleep a night. Okay? Not going to do everything at once, right? Going to focus on one thing at a time. So, this is what goal setting looks like, guys. This is controllable, right? If your goal is to be fit and healthy, if you were to sit down with me and say, hey, that's my goal, I'll say, great. Where are we going to start? And we're going to walk through this process. And I'll say, awesome. The next month, all I want you to do is plan out breakfast and execute on it. And we'll talk about what that might look and mean, again, with all your macros and healthy breakfast, and we'll talk about that. But 7 days a week, don't worry about anything else. Don't worry about lunch and dinner. Continue on. Don't get worse, but continue on what you're doing. Lock down one aspect of this thing. Okay? This is what goal setting looks like. You can do this on your own. I just did it by myself. It's a lot more powerful to do it with someone else because they can give you some perspective as to what obstacles you might have to overcome and who you might need to bring in to give you a hand. But this is the process of defining who you are, why that's important to you. We talked about that in the last session. And then the practical aspects on how do you get there. Okay? So I hope this is encouraging. Do this exercise this week. Okay? 10 minutes. That's all it's going to take. You've got 10 minutes. I know you can do it. So if you want some help, reach out. I'm passionate about this stuff, and this is what we do. This is how you achieve fitness goals, right? We can talk about exercise next time. So, all right, guys, have a great day. We'll see you in the next session.